Shine with Kendell, Lenice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.
First and foremost, every week on Shine with Kendell Lenice. I am a certified transformational life coach, speaker, author, as well as a certified financial coach. Each week I hope to elevate you, educate you, and entertain you with our various guests and various topics here on Shine with Kendell Lenice. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tell a friend. And now on to this week's show. Hey everybody, I hope everybody is doing well. Happy day. Oh, happy day. Whichever day you are listening to this, that's a beautiful thing about podcasts. I upload them live and you listen when you listen. Hopefully you're not just listening. Hopefully you are rating and commenting and sharing this along. This podcast is the gift that keeps on giving. It's all about education, elevation, and entertainment. So do me a favor right now. If you're listening to this, tell your friends and family about Shine with Kendell Lenice. For more information about me, you can visit livingtruelivingyou.com. Also, check me out on IG at k.lenice, Lenice. And that's right, I'm on Facebook as Kendell Lenice and Twitter at klenice. So connect with me in more ways. Oh, and also my YouTube channel. I have a lot of interviews there. I'm taking my interviews live virtually. So I'm doing a show called Kendell Lenice Live, as well as my talk show, The Safety Net with Kendell Lenice. So that's virtual right now as well. I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope you are masked up, gloved up, and just really exercising social distancing. I know some people don't even know what social distancing is. It's pretty much personal space. So some of you were violating people's personal space before. So if any rule needs to be kept even after the pandemic is over, hopefully it's social distancing. That's what I hope. But before we get into our show is all about redefining yourself. But I just want to read the definition from the CDC of social distancing. So social distancing is also called physical distancing. Means keeping space between yourself and other people outside of your home. To practice social distancing or physical distancing, you must stay at least 6 feet from other people. That's about 2 arms length if you can't figure it out. Do not gather in groups, which people are doing, driving me bananas, and stay out of crowded places and avoid mass gatherings. Now, I know some of your states have opened back up, but just because they have opened back up doesn't mean that you have to go out there business as usual. You want to be safe because the second wave is coming and so many people are catching it. So many people are dying from it. I just posted on Facebook that one of my Facebook friends, her husband, just died of COVID-19. So it's real. So they just want to, in addition to social distancing, before we get started with today's show, in addition to everyday steps to prevent COVID-19, and this is from the CDC, y'all, keeping space between you and others is one of the best tools we have to avoid being exposed to this virus and slowing its spread locally and across the country. Limit close contact with others outside of your household, indoor and outdoor spaces. Since people can spread the virus before they know they are sick, it is important to stay away from others when possible. even if you or they have no symptoms. Social distancing is especially important for people who are at higher risk for severe illness from COVID-19. Many people have personal circumstances or situations that prevent challenges with practicing social distancing to prevent the spread of COVID-19. And then it goes through, please see the following guidance for additional recommendations and considerations. It talks about household living in close quarters, living in shared housing, people with disability, people who are experiencing homelessness, and it goes on and on from there. Lastly, why practice social distancing? COVID-19 spreads mainly among people who are close contact within about 6 feet for a prolonged period. Spread happens when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or even talks, and droplets from their mouth or nose are launched into the air and land in the mouth or noses of nearby people. The droplets can be also inhaled into the lungs. Recent studies indicate that people who are infected but do not have symptoms likely also play a role in the spread of COVID-19. It may be possible that a person can get COVID-19 by touching a surface or object that has the virus on it, and then touching their mouths, noses, or eyes. However, this is not thought to be the main way to spread the virus. COVID-19 can live for hours or days on a surface, depending on the factors such as sunlight, humidity, and the type of surface. Social distancing helps limit opportunities to come in contact with contaminated surfaces and infected people outside of the home. Although the risk of severe illness may be different for everyone, anyone can get and spread COVID-19. Everyone has a role to play in slowing down the spread and protecting themselves, their families, and their communities. Lastly, tips for social distancing. So, of course, following the guidance from authorities where you live. If you need to shop for food or medicine at the grocery store, pharmacy, stay at least 6 feet away from others. Also consider other options. Use mail-in, for medication if possible. Consider grocery delivery services. Cover your mouth and nose with a cloth face covering when around others, including when you have to go out in public, for example, the grocery store. Cloth face covering should not be placed on children under 2. Anyone who has trouble breathing or is unconscious, incapacitated, or otherwise unable to remove the mask without assistance. Keep at least 6 feet between yourself and others, even when you wear face coverings. Avoid gatherings of any size outside of your household, such as a friend's house, parks, restaurants, shops, or any other place. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Children should not have in-person play dates while school is out. To help maintain social connections while social distancing, and it has a link for tips to keep kids healthy while out of school. So then you want to also, if you work from home, that can help as well if you're able to do that. Avoiding using any kind of transportation, ride sharing, or taxis if possible. I know some people have to get to work, and that's how they got to get to work, but be safe, y'all. If you're a student or parent, talk to your school about options for digital distance learning, which everyone has been doing. So stay connected while staying away. It is very important to stay in touch with friends and family that don't live in your home. Call, video chat, or stay connected using social media. Everyone reacts differently to stressful situations, and having social distancing yourself or someone you love could be difficult. So I think this is great that the CDC also has tips on stress and just coping with this new normal. I thought it was important for me to definitely talk about that, as I see some of y'all ain't listening to Nathan. Y'all ain't listening. I'm tired of my folks out there partying, getting hairs done, nails done. That's why I said hairs done, nails, and all of that. You don't want to be fly and cute in a casket or up in the hospital with a new weave. Come on, y'all. We got to get it together. We have to get it together. It's so important to make sure it's about the health and not about being cute. That's all right. If you have fake nails and you can't wear them no more, take them off. Fellas, you ain't got to get a haircut. Figure it out yourself. Order some clippers on Amazon. Work that thing out. But be safe and stop being on top of each other, because we cannot gather yet. And if folks continue to do that, then what had happened is what's happening. It's going to spread. And it's all about flattening the curve. So I definitely wanted to be responsible in that fashion and really, try to do what I can to help out. But it's most important, be safe and be creative during this time. If you're a creative person, or even if you're not, this is a time to be creative, whether you're developing new businesses, perfecting old businesses, on TikTok, creating content for yourself, or YouTube, as I'm doing, vamping up my YouTube page and my interviews and all of that good stuff. Use this time to really enhance and improve your life. Today we're talking about redefining yourself. But as always, before we get started, I'm going to start with this week's Life Note. All right, it's time for this week's Life Note. Okay, so again, we're talking about redefining yourself. And the beautiful thing about redefining yourself is you can change anything you want. So this week's Life Note is my quote. It's never too late to remix your life. That is a quote that I coined many years ago. I even have shirts to prove it. I have shirts for $25, and it's about remixing your life. And I always say I didn't come up with the phrase just because it's cute and fancy. I am prime example of remixing your life. And it's never too late to do that at any age, any stage, or any phase. My birthday is June 17th, and I'll be 49 years old. No one thinks it, and no one feels it when they're around me. This is what I've been told, because I don't feel an age. And that sounds crazy, but I don't feel like I'm about to be 49. I still feel young. And I said, I still feel eternally 35. And my daughter was like, well, why 35? I was like, I don't know. I just picked that number. But in other words, I don't feel, like I don't. And it's so funny, because how are you supposed to feel when you're 48 about to turn 49, or when you're 30 about to turn 32? Like, how are you supposed to feel? Turn 31, then 32, then 30. Like, at what age are you supposed to start saying, oh, this is my age, this is what I feel? I don't believe in that mess. I don't. And a lot of people are not happy with their lives right now, or they're not, comfortable with, excuse me, who they are. But you got to be comfortable with who you are. And if you're not, you got to figure out a way to do that. Think about people that I got somebody in mind, and people redefine themselves all the time. They might go by one name in their hometown, and then they move to another hometown, and you hear people calling them by this name. It's like, wait a minute, that's not that person. It's a, different way. They're a variation of how they're saying their name. And yes, that is kind of the same name, but they flipped it. I know a guy who did that. In one state, they call him one thing. And then the other state, they call him something else, but it's redefining. His name is William. And then you have some people in one state call him Bill. And then when he moves to another state, they call him Will. It's as simple as that. Redefining who you are on your terms. And it doesn't take a lot to do that. At any time, you can redefine yourself, even in business. If you were one thing, you can be another thing, like redefining yourself. Like, who are you? I remember years ago, of course, my name is Kendell Lenice, and I've been going by Lady Motivator. I go by both interchangeably. Lady Motivator has been for many years. And that was redefining before I even realized it was redefining, because that's what I do. So it's not as hard as you think. And as a life coach, I talk to people all the time who unfortunately don't like their lives. They don't like what they've done. They want to change, and it's not about changing who you are. It's redefining it for yourself and telling your stories in a different way. And as always, I was looking at this website as I was doing the show, because if you're just tuning in for the first time, let me just pause and say welcome and thank you. Typically, I do that at the top of the show, but I started talking about COVID-19, y'all. But if you just stumbled upon this podcast, I'm not sure how you found me, but I'm glad you did. And to my regulars and my faithfuls, I appreciate you abundantly. I appreciate you all for listening to the sound of my voice and tuning in every week as I go live with this podcast. And you can listen to this podcast from anywhere, as I stated earlier, but we're on all podcast platforms: Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of them. So you can find Shine with Kendell Lenice wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you typically listen to the radio, redefine how you listen audibly to anything. Try a podcast. I'm a podcaster, but I also listen to other podcasts. Podcasts sometimes can save your life. If you're listening to the right ones, it could enhance your life. It could grow you up. It can heal you. It can make you laugh and entertain you. There's so many different amazing podcasts out there. So do yourself a favor and listen to some of them. But of course, include Shine with Kendell Lenice in your rotation. I have been consistently doing this. This is the 129th show. I consistently do it every single week. I don't miss a week, because even if I got one person listening, they're expecting something every week, and doggone it, I'm gonna give it to them. So that's my dedication, and a way that I can honor you in bringing this to you and being consistent, because I believe in that. But now I see some podcasters who would sometimes podcast and sometimes not. Now people have the time on their hands, and I love it, because once they start doing it, they're going to love to do it. And I remember one time I was doing something, and my daughter was like, well, at least you don't have to do it. I was like, no, I have to do it. She's like, well, at least you don't have to. I was like, right. So what I've started doing 2 weeks ago, or I should say last week, I typically went live at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. But now I'm just uploading them, because that's what people do. Because people listen to podcasts when they listen to podcasts. And a lot of them don't listen to them live. And a lot of podcasters upload them. So that's what I am going to start to do. That's what I started to do last week. So Wednesdays, they will be uploaded at some point on Wednesdays. And now I'm doing this in the morning. So as long as they're uploaded so you can catch them, that's all that matters. All right. So I was looking at goodmenproject.com, and I want to be clear. Men as I stated with William, even redefines, it's okay to redefine your life as men. So when we talk about coaching, which I have male clients, but when we talk about coaching and we talk about redefining your life and we're talking about enhancing your life and growing your life, most people think about women, but men are people too, right? Y'all people too, right? So looking at the Good Men Project, they have 6 small changes to purpose a life, to pursue a life with purpose. So these don't just apply to men, but I thought it was pretty dope that they had this here for the men as well, to say, hey, you know what? You can change your life too. It's not just for the women. And for some reason, people think growth and self-help and self-empowerment are for women, but no, doggone it, men too. So this is redefining your life is not as hard as you think. So it goes on to say the greatest gift we men can ever give ourselves and to our families and friends is to live this life the best we can. And I love this. This is for men. I'm glad I stumbled upon it, but the same tips are for women as well. So now it says, now the purpose, this is what the writer says. I found the word purpose saying, pick me. And so I did. Purpose can simply be defined as the very reason we exist. Now, purpose for me, the writer says, as a husband, father, and friend, public speaker, coach, mentor, CEO for a nonprofit, entrepreneur, writer, and podcaster, wow, is very important, he says. There will never be a life well lived if the purpose for that life is never found, embraced, and then walked out. Sometimes just some small changes can help us redefine the life we are living. Here are just a few ideas. I'm sorry, I just love that a man wrote this. I love that. Now, this is for men and women. But this comes, once again, I got to give credit where credit is due, goodmenproject.com. So stop sweating the small stuff, they say. I agree. Even though this is an Old Testament, it is one of the great truths. People constantly stress over things they can't change. We have got to decide once and for all, if I can't change it, I'm not going to stress over it. Worrying will not change anything but our health. Come on, somebody. Hello. I say it all the time. Stop sweating the small stuff. If you can't fix it, go on about your day. Go on about your business and pray about it, y'all. Stop sweating the small stuff. Like this says, worrying will not change anything but your health. And we know that would be on the decline, especially now. You want to stay safe, y'all, because strengthening that immune system can save your life, especially from COVID-19. All right, number 2 on this list is never allow another person to decide your value. See, this is the stuff that I believe. So when I see certain people write stuff, because I'm a writer too, I gravitate to the amen corner of the room. So now listen, this is a guy said this. For years, he based his worth on what other people thought about him. Now this is a man saying this. When that was the case, then the life was lived purely based on what others allowed. We must take control of our lives and get off the emotional roller coaster once and for all. Amen, man. Amen. And women, you guys know that you're allowing other people to decide your value. I always say, stop discounting yourself. You need to be full price. Somebody needs to pay full price. Somebody needs to pay full attention. Somebody needs to be full when they walk up to you. And you are valuable. Don't forget that, y'all. And this goes out to both men and women. Children, as well. Teenagers, little kids, you got to start knowing your value early. Number 3 is live life forward. When you live life forward, it creates a sense of value that is life-changing on its own. A great way of doing this is serving others, and I agree. It could be volunteering your time in your community, your child's school, helping someone. It's so important to do that. And when we do that, we find that we forget about our problems and have a new perspective. Let me tell y'all, there's no better way to see how blessed you are when you look at others' lives. You could be, and I hear it all the time, people, and even on TikTok. I love TikTok, y'all, by the way. I'm sorry. That's my newest strong like, because you love people, not things, but I strongly like TikTok. But even on TikTok, I've heard something going around and people are like, wow, all these people live in these mansions, all these people have these great rooms and this lighting in this big old house, and they're doing their TikToks. But I've seen the flip side too, when people live in little rural country towns and little towns with little little houses, and it looks close quarters and all of that. So I say all that to say everybody got everything going on. So it's so important to just really look at yourself and say, you know what, I'm blessed. Everybody is blessed in their own way. If you're not living on the street, be grateful for your small house. Be grateful for your larger house. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Don't look at somebody else's house and say, you know what, I wish I had that. Because somebody living on the street wish they had your little shack or your little cottage or whatever you call it. They wish they had that. And the thing about God is, if you don't appreciate what He gives you now, He might not give you greater. Because if you can't appreciate where you are and what you have now, then how are you going to appreciate what you have later? You got to appreciate what you have now. Be true to yourself. Number 4, you're one of a kind, a masterpiece. So live like that. Stop being a follower of the crowds and start blazing your own trail. Can I get an amen? That's about redefining yourself right there. That's about really looking at yourself and saying, you know what? I'm a leader. I'm going to pave my way. I don't care what nobody says about me. I'm going to redefine who I am. I'm not going to be a worrywart anymore. I'm not going to be a people pleaser anymore. I'm going to learn how to say no and do that. That's redefining yourself, because sometimes redefining yourself is redefining your boundaries. And number 5 on this list is be adaptable and flexible. Absolutely. You got to learn how to flow with the waves and not against them. Many people feel that if they come adaptable, then they're giving up control of their own lives. But to me, it's really about freedom. When you're flexible and adaptable, you give that permission even to yourself, You give that permission to yourself to just be and not allow other people to do it for you by saying, okay, this is this time, you got to be here, you got to do this, you got to do that. And you're saying, you know what, I'm only available now. You're not flexible, you're not adaptable. And being flexible and adaptable can open up new doors for you. So don't shoot yourself in the foot by trying to just stay the same. Sometimes you got to change, y'all. Transform. Number 6 on his list of 6 is learn to love yourself. God, y'all, you got to really learn to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, how are you going to expect anybody else to love you? I'm sure you heard that before, but so many people don't go that. If you don't find yourself lovable, then no one else is going to feel that you're lovable. If you can't stand to be around yourself, how do you expect anybody else to be around you? As a life coach, I always, and just as a woman, as a person, and even in this journal that I wrote for you all called My Journal of Personal Peace, one of the days is taking yourself out on a self date. You got to do that. And you got to spend time with yourself. I love spending time with myself. One day I walked 4 miles and didn't even know I walked 4 miles. And I spoke to a girlfriend on the phone. And I said, "Ooh, I didn't even realize I did 4 miles." She said, "Who did you go with?" I was like, "Myself." Y'all, I was tick-tocking and singing songs and walking and on my phone. And, I was enjoying myself. I can entertain myself. I laugh at my own jokes. Yep, I'm that one. I laugh at my own jokes. I spend time with myself. And I think it's important for everybody to do that and get to know yourself and get to love yourself. And it's time that you do that, because so many people are, finding it hard to do that. But you got to redefine yourself. You got to love yourself. And loving yourself is knowing when you need to switch it up a bit. All right, so I'm just going to take a quick break and I will be right back and talking about the need for change. Are you feeling stuck in a job or relationship? Are you ready to move to the next level? Are you at a crossroads in life? Are you trying to just figure out life and your goals and what you're trying to accomplish or achieve? Do you lack motivation? Are you unhappy with your life? Are you struggling with self-esteem? These are some of the things Kendell Lenice can help you with. She is a certified transformational life coach. For more information about her, visit livingtruelivingyou.com for her life coaching services. Now back to the show. Shop LeniceBoutique.com. That's right, LeniceBoutique.com. Fashion, clothes, accessories, and more. New and consignment treasures for all. It's guilt-free shopping, y'all. Our team hand selects every item to make sure it meets our quality standard. We will not sell you anything we wouldn't purchase for ourselves. Quality cannot and will not be compromised. No matter what type of item you're looking for, we guarantee quality. Not all of our items are previously loved items. More than 90% of our items are new with and without the tag. Everything is marked so you can clearly know what you're purchasing. And the beautiful part about shopping at LeniceBoutique.com, it's guilt-free shopping. Our prices range from $3 to $99. That's right, only $3 to $99. Shop LeniceBoutique.com for you and a friend. Our items make great gifts to last a lifetime. Remember, shop LeniceBoutique.com. That's LeniceBoutique.com. And now back to our show. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming back and telling a friend. If you are just tuning in right now, right in the middle, go back and please listen to the whole show and listen to the previous shows as they're uploaded for your consumption. Again, this is episode 129, so there are a lot of shows about a lot of different topics and amazing guests as well as myself on the life coaching tip. So go back and listen to some of the shows, even if it's not showing where you're looking at your podcast, because I know Apple Podcasts will show some and then you have to click the button to listen to more. So go through them and listen. There are a lot of shows for your enjoyment and consumption. All right. So as we round this out, as I say, it's never too late to remix your life. It's never too late to redefine yourself. The ability to reinvent and redefine yourself is a purposeful choice. You got to decide that you want to do it. It's about forging new ways, changing old habits, and creating new friends and new circumstances and new careers and jobs for yourself. That's really what it's about. And transforming yourself or redefining yourself can be scary if you've never done it, if you've been the same your whole life, and people told you that this is how you should be, and they put you in this box. It's hard, it's hard to do it, but you can shed your old self and be a new person at any time. You can be that new persona, that new man, that new woman at any time. But most people, it's hard to change, but sometimes change can unlock your future. It's about redefining who you are for yourself and act accordingly. Because some of y'all old selves ain't working no more. It ain't. You stuck. You're not growing. You're not learning. You're not listening. You're not healing. You're stuck in that same old place. So sometimes redefining, just like remixing, could be a matter of life and death. And you could be drowning right now because you're sick of your own self. So I say it's time to redefine yourself. So looking at a life hack, it talks about change. And I also always talk about change, but I'd like to describe it as transformation. As a transformational coach, change sometimes is temporary. But when you transform the way you think, the way you go about things, how you feel, and it's a difference. So they say every day when you wake up, we need to make a decision. We decide to follow our old routine or decide to go off script and shake up things a bit. For those who are creatures of habit, routine is comfortable, easy, and produces very little stress, which is true. If you're doing it the same way, you're not going to produce any stress because you're doing it the same way. The problem with this is, they say, after a while, you stop growing. That's what I just said. It's so funny that they said that. That's what I just said. We all can reinvent ourselves at some point. It's absolutely necessary to achieve certain levels of success. I totally agree. So that little small snippet was from them, saying we all reinvent ourselves at some point in our lives, and absolutely necessary to achieve certain levels of success. It's so true, because you gotta get out of your own way. So if you're in your own way, y'all, I challenge you to move. Get out the way. Get out the way, man. Get out the way and change your life, because sometimes you're the one blocking yourself from your future. You're the ones hating on yourself. You are the blocker of your own blessing because you will not make a change. I don't believe that. You're too old to change. You know what? I'm set in my ways. Well, set in your way and step aside so other people could go through that cloudy smoke of negativity, because that's what it is. If you continue to tell yourself that you can't change, then you're going to perpetuate that. That thought is going to resonate throughout your life and throughout your body, and you ain't going to change, because every day you're telling yourself that you're not going to change. It's only when you want to transform that you can do just that. So I challenge you to redefine your life. What are you going to do? This is the first day. Whenever you're listening to this, this is your first day to think a little differently, to change what you don't like, to upgrade what you don't like, to enhance what you do like. Redefining yourself could be moving. Redefining yourself can be getting another job. Redefining yourself can be you becoming a mom, a father, a husband, a wife. Redefining yourself could be changing your name if you want to. I love my name. I say it 99 times in a podcast, but your name might be a name that you don't like, or you don't feel like you're an Abigail, or you don't feel like you're a Shaniqua, you don't feel like you're a Tatiana, you don't feel like you're a Michelle, you feel like you want an exotic name, you don't feel like a Larry, you don't feel like a Leroy, you feel like a Leroy. Change that. You not Tyrone, you Tyrone. Tyrona. Whoever you are, redefine who you are. If you are short and you feel tall, then walk with your head up high as you can. You can feel tall. It's as simple as that. I'm joking, you're not going to change your height by standing tall, but you will change your confidence level. And when you are confident, that's the sexiest thing that you can wear. The sexiest thing a man or a woman can wear is confidence and a smile. That's sexy. Redefine yourself for you and not for those around you. But I guarantee once you see yourself differently, everyone else will see you differently. Y'all, I thank you so much for tuning in this week and every week to Shine with Kendell and Lenice. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, tell your people. Don't be stingy. But also, please, please, please go over to YouTube and look at my interview series, Kendell and Lenice Live, as well as my talk show, which was face-to-face, and now I'm doing some virtual episodes of The Safety Net with Kendell and Lenice, a safe place where my guests come and share their truths. So follow me on YouTube, subscribe, Kendell and Lenice. Also on IG at k.lenice, Lenice, Facebook, Kendell and Lenice as well. For more information about me, please visit livingtruelivingyou.com or ladymotivator.com. Remember, y'all, it's never too late to remix your life. Change your life up, y'all. Any way you see fit that works for you, because you're the most important person in your life. Remember, you're a star, so don't allow anyone to dim your shine. Until next time, God bless. Peace.
Shine with Kendell, Lenice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.